the first time, we're hearing from the former roommate of Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk.
I started crying a little bit and said he wishes he hadn't done it.
This moment from a previously recorded interview is part of what prosecutors consider a confession Robinson made to his then roommate and romantic partner, Lance Twiggs. The video shown today at a hearing in Utah, along with messages they exchanged the day of the September 2025 shooting.
So this would have been from Tyler. It says, drop what you're doing, look under your keyboard.
Prosecutors say under that keyboard was a handwritten note that said, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. Kirk's wife, Erica, who has been in court all week, in tears as that note was read. Twiggs describing their interaction the day after the shooting like this.
I just asked him in person if what he said was true the night before, and he said it was.
In court today, prosecutors also showing never-before-seen photos of the rifle believed to have been used by Robinson and engraved bullets.
Will you read the markings here?
A fascist?
Robinson has not yet entered a plea. His lawyers argued against Twiggs' statements being released, saying they would harm their client's right to a fair trial. Tom?
Are people who currently believe that there is a vast conspiracy going to change their minds on this issue, no matter what evidence is presented? I think the answer, unfortunately, is largely going to be no. And I can tell you, having now, this is, of course, CIA guy saying this, right? Oh, I'm CIA. You CIA. But a lot of stuff is said about the CIA that, having been on the inside and been out now for a long time, 15 years, is just kind of laughable and absurd, and people believe it because they want to believe it. Who would be a part of the justice machinery here, which includes state investigators, police, the FBI, that would all imagine keeping them all quiet and having them all be a part of some cover-up and conspiracy in this case? It's just absurd. There's no one who's come forward from any of this and said there's actually something amiss here in terms of the investigators are being stymied, or there's some political pressure, or there's some, and yet the internet rumors about, look, we just talked about this, there were internet rumors about Mitch McConnell, everywhere, internet rumors. And then you get Scott Jennings, his friend. He says he called him. He's talked to him this morning, and he seems to be in good spirits. So much for those internet rumors, right? Which were very loud and very prominent for the last 48 hours or so, particularly. And now there's also a lot of internet rumors about this. And I would just say, Clay, in a time where conspiracy unfortunately sells and gets clicks and gets attention in a very rapid way. It's very clear that's the case. It's also a very lazy way to get attention.
There is I think, not insubstantial collection of Americans of all different backgrounds that just don't trust anything now. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust Buck. I always come back to read the original documents, watch the actual videos for yourself. Don't watch the way the media covers stories. Don't watch the way just Buck and I talk about the stories. There is source material that everybody should be able to operate off of. You and I read the source material. We watch the source material. We do lots of research to be ready for this show. And I would encourage you guys to do too. You shouldn't 100% trust anybody in media, because we can all get things that are wrong. And a lot of times when you get things wrong, it's when you haven't gone back and looked at the actual source material. This evidence is damning. Yes. I mean, this guy is guilty based on what I've seen. Yes.
Red-handed, on video, all the text messages, all the everything that you could ever think would be present for this kind of a case. And to anyone who says, well, and this is where this stuff always goes. And by the way, this is also why, the JFK stuff, it's all so tiring. People are like, oh, when they release the files, then we'll know. No, we're not going to know, okay? Because if we knew what was based on what was in the files, we would already know, and they wouldn't just be sitting in files. What you're going to hear from people, I think now, the internet ecosystem will produce oh, but it's not just that Tyler Robinson did this. It's that he was directed by some other entity or some other individual. Okay, well, that's not even what Tyler Robinson's defense is alleging. And now you're going to tell me, oh, well, they can keep him quiet. Really? He's facing capital murder. They're going to keep him quiet. How exactly? If he was doing this at someone else's behest or part of some conspiracy.
I don't even know what this case is running on other than just the, I guess, the courage of our elites. I guess the FBI and the elites are just like, well, we can do whatever we want. What are you going to do about it? You can make up things, sell you fairy tales, and there's nothing you can do about it. We can murder people in broad daylight, live stream it. And what are you guys going to do about it? That's what it feels like now. That's what it's going on, just the gumption, you know?
Put up or shut the fuck up. I don't know how people watch it. She's the dumbest, most dishonest person I've ever seen. I have just had it. I am just straight up anti.
Have you seen the difference in the size of her hands with Charlie's in their wedding pictures, and then compared it to him in his casket?
Are you saying she's a man?
No, I'm saying that wasn't Charlie in there.
What are you talking? Come on.
I'm saying there's something. There's something up. There's something up.
So you're saying he's hidden?
I'm not saying he's hidden. I'm not saying he's still alive somewhere. I don't know. But his body hasn't been buried. Did they lose it? It happens.
Do you think there's a possibility that Charlie is alive?
I think it's vanishingly slight. I think it's probably the most.
So you even give it a slight?
Of course, it's possible. And the behavior of some of the Turning Point people makes me wonder. I tweeted today for the first time ever. I didn't name him, but just thinking aloud. Do you think he's still alive?
But you think there's a possibility they faked his death?
Yes.
But then why wouldn't Candace say something more to that degree?
It's probably the most difficult thing to prove.
You don't get to ask those questions.
I don't know if you're following this Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk assassination case very closely, but as we are talking to you, they're having a third straight day of preliminary hearing. They are producing a lot of the evidence that they believe makes Tyler Robinson guilty. There's been conspiracy theories, the likes of which, frankly, I don't even know what hardly to compare it to when it comes to a criminal trial, that this is all a setup, everything else. How closely are you following it? How much do you think the actual evidence will matter? Or have some people gone down such rabbit holes of conspiracy that there is no convincing them based on any of the evidence out there?
I so hate conspiracy theories, and by which I mean crackpot ideas that where there's, a secret man behind the curtain, somebody else is. Soon after the Charlie Kirk was murdered, I was out with a group of friends, and one of them said, "Oh, did you see the original pictures didn't look like," I don't know, she was going down the conspiracy theory, and I got angry and yelled at her and said, there has never been a murder case with this much evidence. It's overwhelming. Just don't stop. And it's just going on, and if you watch the trial at all, it's just evidence piled on top of evidence piled on top of evidence. In addition, his parents identified him. Their pictures of him. I don't even want to go through it all. It makes me so angry.
There's this thing that happens, Ann, where people will say, they'll ignore everything, but they'll say, well, what about the photo that shows him where he isn't limping in between the photos of showing him where the video that shows him where he is limping? And I'm like, well, I guess checkmate. You're pointing out some still frame that I haven't seen that you think gets rid of everything. And by the way, if you don't immediately concede that your argument is now faulty because of some thing that someone is talking about, you are part of it, by the way. You are part of the whole thing.
Right.
It's
like
insane.
Arguing with a schizophrenic. And, as a regular viewer of forensic files, these theories were at least, within the realm of maybe crazy, but possible many years ago. With all of the video we have now, with DNA, with the lover and the parents saying this is the guy. No, there has never been a murder case with as much evidence.
There we go.
Agree.
All right, Ann Coulter, everybody go check out AnnCoulter.com.
And now they say, oh, well, Charlie was going to persuade Trump not to go to war. Do you guys realize that Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America? You think that the 31-year-old glorified Students for Trump activist was going to prevent a war? Trump has a vice president, a secretary of state, a secretary of defense, commander of the Joint Chiefs. national security advisor, his son, Don Jr., and you think the Students for Trump guy, who's 31 years old, he was going to say, listen, Trump, we can't go to war. And Trump was going to say, oh, I was about to go to war, but since you said Charlie Kirk was more powerful than Don Jr., who was against the war, Vance, who was against the war, among others, Tucker, who went to the White House 3 times in February trying to persuade Trump. It makes no sense. Anyway,